Hi everybody, it's Marcy, and today I am working on my A to Z junk journal for Dear Julie Julie, the challenge for the month of April, and I'm working on my piecework privacy envelope with pattern and packaging pocket with painted or plain postcard and postage stamp inside. Excuse me. All right. So I've got a privacy envelope. I've already cut it down that I've deconstructed and turned inside out. And then I took actually I just printed a postcard, and on the back side I painted it, and I, of course, being me, went a little extra and added some napkin to it. When I did all of that, the back of the postcard got really mottled and discolored. That is what the original image that I printed looked like. And I was going to cover it up, but then I thought, no, I actually like that because it messed it up. A little bit of paint got on the back, and it aged it, distressed it kind of that much more. And I guess here where it had gotten wet, it kind of distressed. So I just thought, nope, just leave it. I kind of like it, actually. And then I added a postage stamp to it. So that's ready to go. Now I need to work on the pocket. And I think I figured out what I'm going to do. I ended up folding up my envelope a little bit at the bottom because that's what's going to be showing through the window, and I needed it scooted up a hair shape. So I need to get that taken care of. So just like with a coin envelope, I'm going to cut off a little bit of this. Let's be sure I don't go too far. Okay, and then on this side, I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. And then this this flap needs to be trimmed a hair shade. Oh. Okay. So that'll work. So now I'm going to glue this, and that will create the bottom of my pocket. All right. And my postcard, as I said, will slide in like so. So I need to create the top, but I think for symmetry, I want to use this flap on the top. Get that out of the way. that like that. I'll glue this down. I will fold this edge over and glue it down. Wipe up my glue mess. And let me just snip this little bit off. All right. So now my pocket is enclosed. I'm going to double check and be sure everything will still go in like I wanted it to. And it will. Need to add a touch of glue right along that edge. Get it to lay down flat. All right. So I'm going to set that aside for now. Then what I'm going to want is, I think I'm actually going to start with this. On using this flap as my guide, I'm going to use it as a hinge. So I'm going to put that there and then glue this over it. This is just a very thin piece of scrapbook paper. And so I figure the cardstock will the craft cardstock will be a good base for that. And allow for some journaling space. So, first thing is to get that glued on. Why don't I have my glue gun? I'm going to use my stick glue. This one's just about gone. I can tell it's just about gone because it's no longer a dark blue and is a very light blue. All right. Get that lined up as best I can. Got a wrinkle in it. Okay, shouldn't put it back down on my glue paper. All right. So that'll work. Need to cut just a hair shade, trim a hair shade here. And this side. Okay, so that works. And then I will glue this down. Then I can trim it. I think I'll start with just the edge on this and then go after I get it the way I want it, then I'll go back and get the rest of it. All right, so that will work. So now I'm going to go back and glue all the way around. The middle, and I will probably, after this glue is good and dry, probably will sew around the edges of this. Use my handy card to help. Smooth it out. Okay. Now, that can dry. And while that's doing, I've got I made some lace out of my pattern paper that I thought could go on this edge. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and put that down instead of talking about it. Okay, so there's my pattern paper. And here, just to get stuff ready, I've got packaging paper that I attach some butterflies to, and my word explore, one of my fabric words, and a couple of postage stamps just to do my piecework with. So I know I want the Explorer on the front. Okay. Just keep it kind of as simple as that. And I'm not being super careful about getting right up to the edges on my paper, because if it curls up and stuff a little bit, that's fine. That just adds to the texture of it. So not worried about that at all. Okay, I feel like I need a little something there. But let me see what I want to do on this side, and then I'll come back to that. Nope, sorry about that. That was my computer. Just put that down, something like that. I'm honestly, with it being sort of piecework and sort of patchworky, pieceworky, I honestly am trying not to think too hard about this stuff. Okay, so I feel like I could use a little something there and maybe something right down here. And something right there. I need to trim that little piece off right there. I'm gonna dot a little fabric tack on each of the petals to help them lie down a little better. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I don't want them to get ripped off. All right. So I like that better. Now, what am I going to do over here? Would another flower be too much right there? And then if I put a flower there, I might be able to put a little bit of lace down here. Here's a little flower right here, just waiting for me to use it. Okay. Okay, now, can't believe I threw my lace scrap bag onto the floor. Okay, now, what is that? That would work. But I think I'm going to, it's a little too white for everything. Going on this envelope. So just dirty it up a little bit. I think that'll be just fine. Another bit down on this end. I think that'll work. So we've got the pocket for our postcard, which we've painted and has a stamp on it. We've got our packing paper, our pattern paper, And then here I just made it into a little fold out, and need to trim this a little bit. And I think I'm going to stitch around that. And I think we're pretty well done. Okay, hang on just 1 second, and I'm going to stitch around this side. Okay, so I did a quick stitch around that. I think I will round that corner and that corner, and ink my edges.